It's Helluva from Detroit. We all got a story to tell and a lesson to learn. This is my story. What up, though? This is Helluva.
What's the deal? This Twan.
And this is our story from Detroit City.
How long have you lived in Detroit?
All my life, which is 43 years.
How about you?
All my life too. Yep. 43 years.
How would you say was your upbringing? Poor, middle class, or rich?
Poor, absolutely poor. I used to go to people's houses, if they had juice in their refrigerator, I thought they was rich. You know, we roll with the Kool-Aid all day. So if you had like some orange juice or something, and it wasn't the first of the month, I'm like, they gotta be rich.
All right, cool. Did you grow up in a single or co-parenting home?
Single.
Okay.
It was just my mom. We stayed with my grandmother. So when she used to try to put me out, I used to be like, this ain't your house, this is my grandma's house. You get out.
Where was your pops at?
My pops, I'm from West Warren, so he was from Warren too, but on the other side of Illinois. So people on my side of Illinois didn't fuck with people from Warren on the other side of Illinois, but I kind of fuck with both sides to this day.
So for that reason, your dad wasn't over there in your life?
No, that ain't the reason he wasn't around. While she was pregnant, he just dipped off. He got the fuck on, he got married. And I think people were used to be in his ear because my mother already had 2 kids from a prior marriage. And he was a little bit younger than her, so he probably had people in his ear like, man, you gotta get out of there. Cut your losses and get out of there. So he got married, and my mother said that she prayed for his marriage not to work. And that nigga got divorced probably like this within a year. I be teasing her about it to this day.
How would you think that affect you as a man growing up, your father not living in the house with you?
That was kind of crazy because I had my little brother and my little sister, their stepfather was around, but I think my mom, we solid today, we like best friends today, but back then, she used to be mad at my father, so I kind of got treated like it was fucked up. I got treated a little different. And then their father was a maniac. He was a homophobic racist, like most of the parents in the household back in the day.
So as a kid, where would you say you wanted to be growing up? So as a kid, where would you say you wanted to be growing up?
What did I want to be? Probably like a wrestler like Hulk Hogan or something. In my neighborhood, all we did was wrestle, make belts and all that type of shit. That was probably up to like 5 years old. After then, it was like probably, I don't know, man. I didn't even think that I would make it to be a grown-up, actually. Like back then, I ain't used to think about the future like that. Shit, I got shot when I was 15 years old. I used to smoke cigarettes when I was like 13, 14. People used to be like, don't smoke cigarettes, they're gonna kill you. I used to be like, nigga, I'm gonna die out here in these streets. I ain't gonna die from no cigarettes. I ain't worried about this. But nah, my mindset is totally different. I plan on being like at least 90. I just met my grandfather in 2018, my mother's father, and that nigga like 90 something now. So I figure I got them good genes.
You got a long way to go. All right. What's your highest level of education?
Last grade I finished was the 8th grade. But I got a lot of education in the streets though. life experience was my teacher. My first career choice, I don't know, it's hard. I had 4 kids at a young age. I was on child support, so I couldn't work. It was just like, shit, doing music was just a hobby. I never thought that niggas like me would ever make no money doing music. So I never really thought about a career, honestly.
At what age you feel you became an adult?
I would have to say 15.
Why 15?
I was out in the streets, then I got shot, survived that, and I had moved out when I was about 16. It was just like I was out here. So I was providing for myself, so I felt like I was an adult at that age.
At what age were you when you made the career choice that most people know you for?
I'd probably say like in my mid to late 20s. I was raising 4 kids by myself, and well, my grandparents and my father, they raised my oldest daughter mostly, but I was just stuck in the crib making beats, playing video games. I ain't had nothing else to do.
What were your early struggles as a producer?
Well, like in Detroit, like local artists, we ain't really get played in the clubs. We ain't really get played on the radio. So that was like one of the first struggles, like just trying to get your songs on the radio or played in the club. It was like unheard of for independent music. At one point, it was unheard of for independent music to be on the radio in Detroit. Like you wouldn't hear nothing, no independent shit. You couldn't even really play your independent shit in somebody's car. As soon as you get in there with a CD, they be like, I don't want to hear that shit. You know, your boys just made a minute ago. Put this motherfucking Young Jeezy on and shit.
So how do you overcome that struggle?
Well, we just, as a whole, as the city, I believe we just started being fans of our own music. Once you become fans of your own stuff, it's like you don't care what nobody else think. I like it, he like it, she like it, and we had formed a group, me, Twan, and our other bros, Ty, A1, Mad Dog, Dirty. Who else?
Tam, Big Baby, it was a, yeah,
So we started being like hood celebrities. So shit, we was happy with that.
Okay. All right. Did you have anybody close to you that doubted you?
That doubted me? Yeah. I had a lot of people that doubted me, especially my baby mama. She used to be like, you old fake ass producer, rapper. Where is the money? You still don't got no fucking money. You leave this motherfucker every day, you come back with no money. Mostly like the females doubted the nigga, for real.
So who would you say is your biggest supporter?
My biggest supporter, my kids. They always believed in me. So they believed in me so much, it was shit. I was the truth to them, so I had to live up to it down there. I was like, damn, they believe. They, I can't have them thinking I can't have them thinking that I'm something that's not real. You know what I'm saying? I had to make it into a reality because they already looked at me like a big rapper, a big producer, just a big person in general. Like even with no money, like they looked at me like, fuck the president, it's about you.
What would you say is the highlight of your life?
The highlight of my life. If it was a movie, I would probably have to say when Yo Gotti brought 42 Doug out on stage in Detroit and gave him a CMG chain, and just the whole energy from the crowd, the whole vibe, like it felt like some credits could have came on right there.
What's the highlight of your life?
Man, let's see.
It's a hard question because we got so much more to do, you know what I'm saying? We still working toward the highlight.
Right.
Got some good ones though. Shit.
I can't say my kids being born because every time it was just like, oh shit, fuck am I done?
Man. Right now though, shit, it would have been my son just graduating from college. 3 degrees. So far that he did it.
Coming from where we come from, that's like a big accomplishment. My daughter, she just graduated from Michigan State. Had to get that college shit right because she'd be like,
All right. What was the worst moment of your journey?
That's a tough one. There's been so much crazy shit that happened. I'd probably have to say being in jail and going to court and the judge saying charges facing life. Like to hear that come out of a judge's mouth was just like, damn, it could be over.
What did you feel in that moment?
I felt like it was over. I'm like, I ain't gonna get to raise my kids. I'm gonna be jacking off on a regular, like, crazy. Luckily, shit went the other way. My nigga helped me bond out actually at the time.
Would you put yourself in that position again ever?
Fuck nah, but I'm gonna handle my business. Definitely gonna handle my business.
Relationships, where have you learned about them?
Relationships with people, like just you gotta stay solid and stay a person of your word and treat people how you want to be treated. Don't do something to somebody that you wouldn't want somebody doing to you or one of your family members or somebody that you love. And if you just stay solid like that, stay solid and stay honest, relationships can go a long way.
Without naming names, what was your best relationship personally?
My best relationship, I would say my best relationship was with my grandfather. He taught me how to be a man's man, no homo, like for y'all. That means like a man that, a stature that people could look up to and say, I want to be like him. I always wanted to be like my grandfather. He was a hard worker. He worked till he was like 75. Everybody loved him. He helped everybody that he could help. And he just taught me a lot in general. When I was a little kid, he used to be like, you know, you can ask me anything. There's no such thing as a dumb question. And then he was a carpenter, and I used to work for him. Then I ask him some shit, and he'd be like, that was just dumb. And I used to be like, but granddaddy, you told me. He was like, nigga, you was 5 years old.
All right, what was your worst relationship?
I would have to say with my baby mama. It was like being with the devil's daughter. Like, he just sicked his daughter on me. And shit, he can tell you some stories. That's got to be my worst relationship with any person in life. I felt like she woke up every day like, I cannot let this nigga have no type of happiness. I got to get rid of it, no matter what it is.
If you could do it all over and you could change something, what would it be?
If I could do it all over, what would I change? Now, I asked myself this question like a couple of nights ago, and it was a real struggle for me. I would probably have to say, when I was younger, I would have made the relationship with my mother better in any way that I could have possible, because that had a lot of effect on like my whole childhood, me being happy. Like, I wasn't happy, but at the same time, you're not who you are without the struggles that you've been through. So I can't really take nothing back.
If someone somewhere watching this and inspired to do what you do, tell them how to get where you at without all the mistakes you learned.
Well, first, get your business in order. As far as like your get all your publishing and everything set up, and you just gotta get good people in your corner. As far as like management and a lawyer, like that's something you need like early on.
What's your focus on today in life and in business?
My focus right now is to get wealthy, create generational wealth, and to help the youth out, help Detroit City as a whole, but especially like the youth. I want to like start programs to teach the youth how to make music, do some of the things that I do, and I want to go into. I was just talking to Eastside Ivo about this, like going to like juveniles and schools and talking to kids.
Yeah, I got these dudes in Nashville called Gideon's Army. They got a nice setup. I'm gonna link you up with them, and y'all could like, they could bounce off each other. But they got a nice program set up where they stop like 9% of the violence in their neighborhood.
Really?
Yeah, they call violence interrupters. Like some of them did time for murder. Some of dudes got life, gave it back. So niggas respect their handle in the streets. So when something pop off, they go to it before it get too crazy and try to dead it.
And they gotta have respect out there, cause they gotta have a lot of respect, and cause you can't even talk to niggas without that.
Right.
But like my nigga Eastside Ivo, he just lost a brother last year, and his brother got killed by a young dude who had just got out of juvenile. And when we was talking about it, he wasn't saying like he had remorse for the young dude. He was saying like, if somebody could have got to him and talked to him and stirred him in a different direction, his brother could still be alive this day, and that dude wouldn't be doing life.
Yeah, and that's what these dudes do. They just call it violence interruption. You know what I'm saying? It's like, y'all don't want to go to war with us. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk these out. You know what I'm saying? And they for 10 months, no killings. Yeah, yo. You know what I mean?
So they must be out there like, look, we getting on everybody's ass if y'all don't fix this.
But yeah, they call Gideon's Army, man. I'm gonna send you a link to them so you can check them out.
My name is LT, and of course from Cashville. My man, goddamn, what you want to be known for? Yes, sir. Hambino, Kalo, Mario, all us part of Gideon's Army out here in North Nashville. You know, trying to save lives and trying to, know what I'm saying, tell the brothers, you know, it's a better way outside of throwing your life away for nothing.
Now, I'm pretty much sure That's who you are today.
Yes, sir.
How did you get to that point?
Well-
And I'm sure all of y'all didn't have that mentality at one point.
Yeah.
So how we get here?
We got here from the point of being a part of the problem. You know what I'm saying? We was the problem. We was, you know what I'm saying, you know, the ones who was laying 50 shell cases on the ground and the body laying over there. Or, you know what I'm saying, you know, pushing that work, so on and so forth. You know what I'm saying? But, of course, we saw that we got tricked. You know what I'm saying? And we got to playing these people game of eliminating us. So once we saw that we was contributing to our own demise, then we, know what I'm saying, you know, took on a whole nother different approach, which is coming out here and being the solution instead of the problem.
All right, that's dope.
How has the corona or the COVID affect your life?
Well, as soon as I got a little paper, everybody else got some. Nah, I'm talking. Nah. My mom's was in a coma for months and months, and I just did not think that she was, I just knew she was out of here. But we kept praying and talking to her on the FaceTime, and it made me like appreciate like relationships with people more. So I want to talk to my mother now and get more like knowledge from her and do whatever I can to make her happy. Like just give her flowers while she here. So I would think like the coronavirus in that way affected me as far as like appreciating people more, because you never know, they could be here one day and gone the next. I want to shout out my nigga Peanut, man, for putting this interview together for me, man. I fuck with Big Bro. He done gave me a lot of good advice throughout like some rough patches as far as like doing music.
Tell us something about some of the projects you got.
I got a few artists that I'm working with, a lot of young artists in the city, and I'm working on my like a mixtape type of thing for myself. Got that coming up.
And how can they reach you?
Helluva 313, that's the Instagram, the Twitter, the Gmail. Just hit me up.
Tell us about your men.
My nigga Twan. My nigga Twan, what was that you had asked me earlier about when you knew you was grown?
When did you know you became a man?
Like when I used to see him when he was like 12 or 13, I was like, that nigga's a grown man. That nigga had money, cars, all type of shit. Right. And I used to be out robbing and shit, still bummy and shit. I used to be like, I need to be doing what the fuck he doing. Okay. But this my nigga though. When I was locked up, I had my girl call him from the joint like, man, help me get out this bitch. We gonna work on that CD as soon as I get out. And that kind of like, without that happening, I wouldn't even be here today.
Big up, big up. All right, that's how you get your flowers. All right, definitely, no doubt.
This is Helluva from Detroit. We all got a story to tell and a lesson to learn. This was my story.
Choke. You know what it is. Yo, y'all niggas better stay DL. Down low. Stop flossing, man. You just want them to just come and get you. Learn from our mistakes, man. That's what this is about. Learn from mistakes. Choke, no joke. Let's go. You already know. Make it low. Let's go. My aim was enlightened. Drop jewels on you. You thinking I'm jealous? I ain't got cheddar like you. I'm the dude to a game. You got school.